Gorge with the east wind. Tomorrow, the rain later in the day breaks into showers, but not until maybe the back half of Saturday. Sunday, a shower chance, but really it's pretty quiet. Rain picks up Monday afternoon. That's pretty wet into Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. That's your update.
All right. Thank you, Rod. Well, a new letter from the Trump administration is now directing leaders in Oregon and Washington to review their policies around foster parents because they say they don't align with the administration's values or constitutional law. We'll take a look at what the rules here in the Northwest say and how they apply to LGBTQ+ children next.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and we hope you've been joining us for The Story each weeknight at 6:30. If you've got a story idea of your own, email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Well, a new federal warning could force major changes in how Oregon and Washington advise foster and adoptive parents.
The Trump administration just sent a letter pressuring states to review policies that require parents to affirm a child's gender identity. Libby Dowsett looks into what this could mean for kids across the Northwest.
The U.S. Administration for Children and Families just sent out a notice to Washington, similar to the one sent to Oregon last month, directing state leaders to review and possibly amend foster parent policies they say don't align with the administration's values or constitutional law. Oregon and Washington both require state foster care and adoptive parents to be supportive of kids' gender identities and preferred pronouns. Mickey Gillette with Basic Rights Oregon says that policy protects LGBTQ+ youth from discrimination.
And it's a parent's job to accept those kids and to help them grow and become themselves.
But the attorney representing Malheur County mother Jessica Bates, who is seeking to adopt children through Oregon's foster care system, says his client has been shut out of the system due to her Christian beliefs and lack of support for gender-affirming care or using a child's chosen pronouns.
Jessica is currently raising 5 children of her own. She's very capable and loving. She will love any child who's placed in her home. So excluding her solely because of her beliefs, all that does is hurt children.
Elliot Hinkle from Unicorn Solutions, which supports LGBTQ+ rights, says the last thing foster kids need is further trauma.
For many of us, trans myself, I grew up in care and I experienced conversion therapy. I'm not looking to be around people who further want to cause me more harm.
Washington's Department of Children, Youth and Families said in a statement to KGW, in part, quote, we remain committed to ensuring children and youth are in safe homes that contribute to their development and well-being. The department stated it's still reviewing the letter from the Children and Families Administration. Bates' attorney says he's now litigating challenges to the policies in both Washington and Oregon.
These are beliefs that a man can't be a girl, or a boy can't be a girl can't become a boy. Vast majority of Americans agree with that.
But those who don't are standing by the state's policies.
Trying to protect these kids and make sure that this stage of their life is one where they feel loved and accepted.
Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
700 healthcare workers at OHSU have voted to authorize a strike, and that includes physician associates, nurse practitioners, and certified nurse midwives. Their primary concern are what they say is an unstable workload and uncompetitive wages. But before a strike can happen, workers must give a 10-day notice to OHSU. Coming up at 8, KGW Sunrise continues live on KGW Plus with the latest on Hurricane Melissa as Jamaica works to clean up the mess left in the storm's wake.
Plus, as the government shutdown continues, SNAP benefits are set to stop. What Oregon's governor is doing to help keep families maintain food on the table. That's next.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. We have a traffic alert we need to tell you about. ODOT says that it will have what they're calling rolling slowdowns as crews do some work on the roadways today. So until 2 p.m. this afternoon, you can expect slowdowns and lane closures on sections of I-5, I-405, I-84, and I-205. That's for scheduled graffiti cleanup. Meanwhile, on Highway 217 in Beaverton, crews will be performing emergency pothole repairs. So check tripcheck.com for those latest on those slowdowns. All right, headed over to Rod Hill for a look at weather.
Well, weather-wise, we have a nice day. Good morning. We have all dry weather expected. We're seeing already the push of some mid to high level cloudiness that will work themselves across all of our sky today, but no moisture falling from them. So turns out to be kind of a partly sunny or filtered sunshine kind of day at times. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. Nice morning. It's a chilly start where winds have been light. Many areas are in the 30s, 39 in fact, even in Lincoln City this morning. There's the rising sun next to Mount Hood looking from the Vancouver, the Springs of the water.
Right now on KGW Plus, the legal battles over the deployment of the National Guard to Portland continues. Plus, in a move that appears to be in direct violation of a judge's order, the new information on 9 National Guard troops briefly deployed to the Rose City earlier this month.
Then several statues toppled during the 2020 protest are returning to Portland. How the city is hoping to quell anger that brought them down in the first place.
And later, Waikiki Bridge over the Sandy River was shut down again. Just less than a year later, after it was closed for major repairs. The 8 o'clock hour sunrise starts right now. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Corey Johnson in for Drew Carney today. Rod Hill standing by for a look at your weather and forecast. Hey, Rod.
I'm really going to miss the shot.
Yeah.
Once the leaves fall from the trees, because it's been so pretty down in Salem throughout this fall season. And judging by this image, we're kind of starting to get up over the peak just a little bit, but still really pretty fall foliage in front of our Capitol. It's a nice morning. It's chilly, 36 degrees. We were mainly clear overnight. We are starting to see a push of some high clouds come in right now. It'll end up being kind of a partly sunny day. The rising sun from the Wells Fargo building, 42 is the temperature. 53 at noon, 60 at 5 o'clock. East winds have started to blow. If you get them, you'll notice those breezes today. If you don't, you'll just have light winds, and that's your update.
All right, thank you, Rod. And we also have an update to an earlier traffic alert near Tigard. It looks like things have started to clear after a crash on I-5 North near the exit to Highway 217. And this is a live look at the scene right now. You can see it looks like emergency crews, a tow truck out there pushed to that right-hand shoulder. Before it was a completely different scene, 2 lanes blocked, and so it was creating a little bit of delay. But right now it looks like it has since reopened. Now, Trip Check says to expect a delay of about 20 minutes or less. And of course, we'll continue to follow the impacts of that crash and update you as we learn more.
And then a quick traffic alert for you today. ODOT says it will have what are called rolling slowdowns as crews do some work on the roadway. So starting as early as 7 until 2 in the afternoon, you can expect those slowdowns and lane closures on sections of I-5 and I-405, I-84, I-205. That is scheduled for graffiti cleanup. Meanwhile, on Highway 217 in Beaverton, crews will be performing emergency pothole repairs. So check tripcheck.com for the latest on those slowdowns.
Well, the state of Oregon and the Trump administration are once again squaring off in federal court. Oregon pushing to turn a temporary restraining order which blocks the deployment of troops into something more permanent.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live outside the federal courthouse in downtown Portland. So Thomas, what have we learned so far?
Well, guys, the first day of the trial was yesterday, and there's a startling revelation that 9 National Guard troops were actually deployed over one afternoon and evening after a federal judge ruled that deployment was temporarily restrained from happening. Yesterday in trial, the judge told Trump administration lawyers, we'll discuss later whether that's contempt. The courtroom was packed as Oregon, California, and the city of Portland take on the Trump administration. The trial began with Portland police taking the stand, testifying that they have control of the situation outside the ICE facility in South Portland. For months, a small group of protesters have gathered outside the facility, occasionally clashing with federal officers. Oregon, California, and Portland argue the Trump administration is overstepping its authority by deploying National Guard troops.
This is a systematic attempt by the president to really attack pillars of our democracy.
Now, the feds argue the president has the right to deploy federal ICE troops, saying federal officers at the ICE facility are stretched thin and need help protecting the building. The state of Oregon is seeking a permanent injunction to block the troop deployment. Legal experts tell us this is a really interesting case because it tests state sovereignty as well as presidential powers. Whatever the ruling in this trial is, it is very likely, experts say, to be appealed. Guys.
Our Thomas Schultz reporting live for us. Thank you, Thomas. And while the courts grapple with whether sending troops down here is justified, last night protesters once again leaned into what makes Portland weird by holding a dance party outside the ICE building.
That's right. This morning, police say after monitoring the ICE building last night, they did not see any disruptive behavior and that no new arrests were made. KGW's Alma McCarty was there last night and brings us the latest.
While a DJ sets up speakers outside Portland's ICE facility.
Liberty and freedom, a government that serves the people. not a people that are subservient to the government.
Vincent Hawkins assembles small American flags to hand out to the small crowd.
It feels like democracy itself is under threat. It really is.
It's what's driven him to keep coming back here week after week.
This is a stage. We know it. The guys in uniform up on the roof know that this is a stage. They're trying to produce propaganda. They're trying to produce content that says Portland's full of criminals.
To combat that narrative,
the bravest form of whimsy you'll ever see.
I know it sounds cliche, but love does always win.
Wednesday's crew, neither large nor violent, certainly showed passion. From the inflatable costumes, a new protest staple, to an appearance by a llama.
And 99% of the time down here, it is still whimsical and fun. And that's what we're about, is community and connecting, because through that we can, become more resilient.
That was incredible! Dance protests, the idea to dance, to show feelings, to represent a cause, that is not new at all. It is global. It seeps into every culture across ages, and it's beautiful.
Alma McCarty, KGW News.
Family and friends of a Hillsborough man detained earlier this month by federal agents are demanding his release. Victor Cruz was detained by authorities, even though, according to his family, he had the paperwork proving that he could legally live and work in the country. Family members say agents were searching for a different individual with the same name, someone who had reportedly had a criminal record.
This administration is working hard to divide us, painting immigrants as animals, lying and saying they're only detaining criminals, but we have seen that's not true.
So many people have green cards and have been in America for years. They are sad and they don't understand. They are not criminals.
Cruz is currently being held in Tacoma. We reached out to Homeland Security, but they did not clarify why Cruz was detained.
Well, a statue of Abraham Lincoln that stood in Portland for nearly a century before being torn down is now set to return. That statue stood on the South Park blocks from 1927 until protesters toppled it in October 2020. After a year of restoration work, it's now scheduled to be reinstalled early next year.
These monuments mean different things to different community members, and above all, what folks really want is more conversation and engagement with history.
Now, the statues of Theodore Roosevelt and George Washington will also be restored beginning in early 2026. The Lincoln statue will have some new signage providing more context about the 16th president's role in American history.
Your time now is 8:07, and we are getting spooky here on Sunrise. We were at the Holiday House on 3rd and Ridgefield earlier this morning to check out their amazing Halloween display with all of that complete with a hand-built farmhouse. They had customized props. If you want to check out the house for yourself, we have the address there on your screen, and they do have lights on each night starting at 6 until midnight. And if you want more of the house, they also do a ton of decorations during Christmas, so you can follow them on social media at the Holiday House on 3rd.
And my favorite thing about Halloween is seeing all the little kitties' costumes.
Oh,
but
they're
unfortunately,
so cute.
Right, adorable. But unfortunately, Rod, you said it might rain for Halloween trick-or-treating.
I think it will rain now.
Okay.
We've been toying with this chance of the heavy rain kind of holds out, and we would probably have some light showers in that case over the area. But now it looks like instead of light showers, the main rain band actually could be moving in, which would mean just steady rain. But I've had pretty good crowds at my house on Halloween's when it is raining pretty good. I don't see this being like overly windy or anything. It's just going to be raining. Here's the Oregon Veteran camera from the Dalles, and that's a mainly clear sky looking out over the river. Here's up high at Timberline, beautiful early morning sunrise colors. And here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha looking out to the west in Washington County. And you can see some high cloudiness, but really pretty nice. 42 is the temperature. No fog this morning. This is a completely dry day. We're just going to be dealing with some passing mid to high level clouds for kind of partly sunny conditions. And that's statewide, by the way. All right, what are the numbers? They are chilly. Battleground just been flirting with 32 at this location, 33 right now. Tigers 45. Good morning to you. Most of us are in the 40s and 30s. There's Aurora, Canby, Almsville, Albany, all right around 36, 37 degrees. Salem's at 36. Here's the partly sunny forecast map, all dry, daytime highs primarily up into the 50s today. So yesterday we hit 60. We could do it again today. Pretty nice. And by the way, the normal high is now 59. So anything up into the 60s is all of a sudden bonus territory. Now tomorrow, dry morning, but it looks like the rain could be coming in by late afternoon. So steady evening rain. That rain band is a slow mover. We may literally not get a break in the rain at all until at some point Saturday afternoon. And then Sunday, it's just a scattered shower threat, a day that really looks to be pretty dry overall. And then rain picks up on Monday afternoon. That's pretty wet for several days. Hey, my winter outlook that we debuted here on Sunrise yesterday, we actually put together a longer, roughly 15-minute version of this. It really gives us time to get into detail of everything I'm looking and tracking for this winter. It's now available on all of KGW's platforms. So if you have stuff bookmarked, you'll find it. Otherwise, if you just search, hey, Rod's Winter Outlook, it comes up. Make sure it's a little short guide in front of the weather map. You're at the right place. Back.
All right, thanks, Rod. Well, coming up, entire towns underwater and hospitals destroyed. Still ahead on Sunrise, a look at the devastating aftermath of Hurricane Melissa as Jamaica begins its long road to recovery. Plus,
I'm Tracy Wilkins in Washington. President Trump on his way back to the U.S. after his meeting with China's president. The deals made and what the president is now declaring for U.S. nuclear weapons. Coming up.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
President Trump is on his way back to Washington, D.C. this morning after ending his 3-stop tour through Asia.
That's right, and the meeting took place moments after the president made a surprise announcement on social media. NBC's Tracy Wilkins reports.
President Donald Trump declared he wants to begin testing America's nuclear weapons just before his meeting with China's President Xi Jinping in South Korea, later explaining it wasn't Xi that prompted the announcement.
The meeting. It had to do with others.
On Truth Social, the president posted the United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country and went on to express concerns that Russia and China will catch up with the U.S. in 5 years. Trump said he wanted the testing to be done on an equal basis with other countries, but did not elaborate on what that would look like. Democratic Senator Jackie Rosen reacting on X, saying, "This directly contradicts the commitments I secured from Trump nominees who've told me explosive nuclear testing would not happen." Returning from South Korea on Air Force One, Trump called the meeting with Xi a success.
I guess on the scale of from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12. Okay, I think it was a 12.
The two leaders discussed fentanyl, the export of China's rare earth minerals and trade, prompting Trump to lower tariffs on goods from China to 47 from 57%.
It was an outstanding group of decisions, I think, that was made. A lot of decisions were made, too. There wasn't too much left out there.
President Trump says he plans to visit China in April and says President Xi will come to the U.S. sometime after that. In Washington, I'm Tracy Wilkins, NBC News.
We are learning more about the damage and devastation in Jamaica caused by Hurricane Melissa. We have this drone footage that you can see damaged buildings, roofs torn off, trees uprooted, and debris littering the streets. The storm is responsible for at least 30 deaths across the Caribbean.
That's right. Melissa is currently a Category 2 as it makes its way toward Bermuda. Sherelle Hubbard has more details on that dire situation playing out across the region.
Cleanup and recovery are underway in the Caribbean following Hurricane Melissa. In Jamaica, residents and police seen clearing roads and removing downed trees Wednesday after the storm tore across the island. In the aftermath, communities are left with widespread flooding, debris, and power outages.
Hurricanes and earthquakes is not unusual to Jamaica, but Melissa perhaps has been the greatest one that we have experienced.
Melissa made landfall in Jamaica Tuesday as a Category 5 hurricane. By early Wednesday, the storm weakened to Category 3 strength when it hit Cuba. Video shows rain rushing down flooded streets and into homes in Santiago de Cuba. Cuba's government saying overflowing rivers cut off more than 140,000 people. Officials in Jamaica say residents in areas devastated by the storm are also trapped.
We also need to get food to these areas because a lot of these people are cut off and do need food supplies flown into them.
Many roads impassable. Several ambulances headed for Jamaica's hard-hit west coast got stuck in the mud. The entire country declared a disaster area by the Prime Minister.
Historic buildings, churches, courthouse, the parish council, and all the heritage buildings have been destroyed.
I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Boy, you saw in that video just so many of the trees snapped. Again, the gusts were over 200 miles an hour when the eye was just offshore from the western portion of Jamaica. It is now down to a Category 2 storm, sustained winds 105 miles per hour. It cleared across Cuba and now it's cleared through the Bahamas, which are right here. So we're out over open water. The only other land mass, if you will, that's being threatened is, and it could be a heavy hit potentially. That's Bermuda right there. But the storm is expected, again, 105 sustained Cat 2 right now. Should continue to hold or weaken as it pushes north. And of course, you know how that goes. The water temperatures get cooler. The storm weakens, but Bermuda hoping they get some weakening from that storm before it hits. Let's zip out to our part of the world. This is nothing but mid to high level clouds that will be streaming across our skies today. No rain chance. Just kind of a filtered sun day coming. But back here, that's a pretty good rainmaker, and the timing has sped up. I'll show you Futurecast for Halloween in just a second. Our beautiful fall foliage camera of the Capitol Mall in Salem with some high cloudiness, so kind of partly sunny up top. It's chilly, 36. The only camera I've seen all morning that shows fog is up here. That's Lewis River Golf Course, and you can tell it's shallow fog because the sun up here is trying to break through. That's up in Woodland in southwest Washington. Here's a look at the sun off to the east over Pioneer Place from the Pioneer Park building camera in downtown Portland. 42 is the temperature. 37 Kelso against a chilly start. 50 in Astoria, 28 Bend, 20 in Baker City. We have passing high cloudiness that will literally move across all of our state today, which is what you're seeing right here, 6 o'clock. Tomorrow, the next wave of clouds come in. A cloudy Halloween. Still looks like we're all dry in the morning, all dry going into the afternoon for Portland. This is noon, and the timing of this rain band, again, showing us being sped up this morning with rain chances starting at noon in Astoria. And then all week I've been talking about this rain band saying, well, it's possible that the heavier rain could hold off until after the trick-or-treat hours and we would just get some light showers. But now it looks like the heavy rain band could, in fact, be here over Salem, Portland, and Vancouver at 6 p.m. So if this is correct, it's a steady, moderate rain throughout pretty much the entirety of your Friday evening during the trick-or-treat hours. And then it's still raining all of Friday overnight, heavy at times. Still raining all of Saturday morning. Here's Saturday afternoon, and this could be not until later in the day, potentially, the rain band moves through, we break into showers and we start to dry out. There's a scattered shower threat that will linger into the day Sunday. Models like this being a really good rainmaker. This shows up to an inch in Portland. I would say at least a half of an inch is expected, and then 1 to 2 inches of rain along the coast as well. Valley forecast numbers for you. We're trying to get up to the upper 50s to about 60 today with the passing high clouds. The wind direction is from the east, and we'll see gusts coming out of the gorge along the Columbia at about 35 miles per hour. Here's the 7-day forecast. So today is the last day with no rain chance whatsoever for a while. We pick up a shower threat on Sunday, but pretty quiet overall. But PM Monday all the way into Wednesday and Thursday of next week looks to be pretty wet. That's your forecast.
All right, thank you, Rod.
The fact that it says no trucks, the trucks attempt it, and then they take out the wall.
People in Troutdale frustrated by yet another crash on the Stark Street Bridge, just a few months after it was repaired because of sustained damage.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
In Troutdale, there was yet another semi-truck crash on the Stark Street Bridge, which is the only option to cross the Sandy River area.
That's right. Yesterday's crash closed the bridge for most of the day. Catherine Cook talked with crews about what's now a recurring problem and what they think could fix the issue for good.
There are bridge closures, but in Troutdale, you call this thing on the Stark Street Bridge
Again.
a trigger.
Again. Yes.
More on why in a minute. First, enter the semi-truck. Around 11:30 Wednesday morning, Multnomah County Sheriff's deputies say the truck turned right onto the bridge, then crashed into this concrete wall. The impact launched a big chunk of stone facade down to the Sandy riverbank and crumpled the pedestrian bridge fence. The driver wasn't hurt.
From witnesses' accounts, he was traveling at speed, didn't slow down for the turn.
Tyler Kunter with Multnomah County's road department says that happens a lot here. So many times, in fact, that last fall, the county closed the bridge for 6 months to repair sustained damage and restore structural integrity. They just reopened the bridge in March.
But now here we are today with another, gaping hole here. So.
For people who live and work in this community, the Stark Street Bridge closures and the crashes that cause them are more than an inconvenience.
It's a livelihood of our area. We need it, lifeblood. It really is. It's very important to be able to cross there, and it saves a lot of time.
We use it almost daily. Everybody does who lives in Corbett.
It's lost effort, it's revenue, it's costs.
Kunter says ideally trucks would be restricted from making right-hand turns onto the bridge, but it's not just up to Multnomah County. While they own the bridge, the state owns the highway, so they're working on a solution together. Kunter says it's just one example of why the county needs funding to maintain aging roads and bridges.
Ultimately, a new bridge here. I mean, this bridge was originally built when we had, Model T trucks. So.
Fortunately, crews say after this crash, the bridge is still structurally safe for vehicles. And after some repairs for pedestrian safety, they reopened it Wednesday night.
Yay! It did not look like that was going to be the case from the pictures that I saw.
And while they worry about the next one,
So in order to make this turn, trucks have to really slow down.
they'll cross that bridge
Swing wide.
when they get to it. In Troutdale, Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Now to your morning rush. The government shutdown is nearing 1 month and the impact is growing. Millions could lose food assistance as SNAP benefits run out November 1st. Airport staffing shortages are raising safety concerns and federal workers are missing paychecks. The Congressional Budget Office warns the economy could lose up to $14 billion if the stalemate continues. Former Illinois Deputy Sean Grayson has been found guilty of second-degree murder in the death of Sonia Massey, a 36-year-old woman who had called 911 about a possible prowler. Jurors deliberated for about 11 hours before returning the verdict. Grayson faces 4 to 20 years in prison and is scheduled for sentencing on January 29th. Frustration grows as the Boeing strike enters its third month in St. Louis. Congress members are pressing Boeing to reach a fair contract with 3,200 machine workers. The strike has delayed fighter jet deliveries, and Boeing is looking to hire permanent replacements for striking workers. And that's a look at your morning rush.
And coming up next at 8:30, we have new details in the death of a Lincoln County toddler who went missing back in March, why his father is now being charged with child neglect. And Oregon Governor Tina Kotek declaring a food security emergency. This as some 750,000 Oregonians could lose their SNAP benefits next month due to the government shutdown.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm China Green. The father of a Lincoln County toddler who disappeared and was found dead is now being charged with child neglect. In March, 2-year-old Dane Paulson went missing from his home in Siletz, sparking a massive 10-day search. His body was later found in the Siletz River. At the time, investigators said that there was no foul play, but new court documents say Dane's father, Aaron Paulson, left him unattended long enough to put his safety at risk. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
Thank you, China. Good morning. We have a good day. It's going to be all dry. We're dealing with passing mid to high level cloudiness, which are starting to show up more and more. Here's Chinook Winds Casino Resort in Lincoln City. 39. It's a chilly start. We've got enough of an east wind coming out of the gorge that there's no fog this morning. Again, you can see the increasing high cloudiness up top from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront camera. Moving forward, 42 right now, 53 degrees at noon, 60 for high. It now appears it will be raining on the ghosts and goblins tomorrow evening for your Halloween forecast. Have a good day.
Right now on KGW+, police in Vancouver are looking for a rape suspect. They say cut off his ankle monitor and then did not show up for court.
Plus, Oregon Governor Tina Kotek allocates $5 million from the state's food bank network to support people who may be losing their SNAP benefits.
And later, we are just 99 days away from the Winter Olympics. You're going to meet the Vancouver ice maker setting her sights on Italy. The 8:30 half hour of sunrise starts right now.
Good morning and thank you for joining us here. I'm China Green.
I'm Justin Corey in for Drew Carney this morning. Rod Hill standing by for a look at your weather. Rod, it's Halloween Eve. How's it looking out?
Yes. Well, today looks great. If we could trick or treat today instead of tomorrow, we'd be in good shape, but it doesn't work that way, and it does look increasingly likely it will be raining tomorrow evening. More on that coming up on our show. For right now, let's get you out the door. Beautiful fall colors in front of our Capitol down in Salem. It's a chilly morning, 36. This is a day with passing mid to high level clouds. You're already starting to see those clouds increase across the area. 42 is the current number. So filtered sun, 53 at noon. I still think we have a chance to get up to 60, which we did do yesterday. And again, the high cloudiness that you just saw on our live cameras will be moving across all of our state and statewide. We're basically looking at temperatures in the 50s today. The east winds have already picked up, gusting at Troutdale to about 30 coming out of the gorge. So if you typically get the east wind, you'll notice those breezes at times today. All right, Halloween real quick. Tomorrow's all dry in the morning, but it does appear not only is the rain chance looking more likely, but it now looks like we could actually be in the main rain band during the 6 to 9 p.m. trick-or-treat hours. So that would be steady rain, and that steady rain might not get out of here until at some point Saturday afternoon. The drier part of your weekend looks to be Sunday with a scattered shower chance, but really most of the time it looks to be dry. If you don't like rain on Halloween, this is not my fault. All right, hey, we put up our winter outlook yesterday, and it's now available on all of our KGW platforms, KGW Plus right here, YouTube, KGW.com, Facebook. You can simply Google, too, this works, Rod's Winter Outlook, and it'll pop right up. So we hope you will check that out.
All right, thank you, Rod. Chris is not here, so I'm doing your traffic, so, well, buckle up. We are tracking a traffic alert on eastbound Highway 26. A crash has closed just the median near Bethany Boulevard. We'll continue to follow the impacts of this crash and update you as we learn more. And another quick traffic alert for you today. ODOT says it'll have what are called rolling slowdowns as crews do some work on the roadway. So until 2 p.m. today, you can expect slowdowns and lane closures on sections of I-5, I-405, I-84, and I-205. That's for scheduled graffiti cleanup. Meanwhile, on Highway 217 in Beaverton, crews will be performing emergency pothole repairs. So check tripcheck.com for the latest on those slowdowns.
This morning, we're tracking two separate deadly crashes in northeast Portland. The first happened just before 8 o'clock last night when authorities say a pedestrian was hit by a car near the Gateway Transit Center. Officers say the woman was pronounced dead at the scene. The driver is cooperating with the investigation. Then about an hour and a half just before that, a mile away on Northeast Gleason and 112th, police say a cyclist died in a separate crash. First responders tried to save their life, but the cyclist did not make it. Authorities say the driver in this case also stayed at the scene to help with the investigation.
New this morning, police in Vancouver are looking for a rape suspect. They say cut off his ankle monitor and failed to appear in court Wednesday. So take a good look at your screen right here. This is Todd Hubbard. Police posted this on Facebook saying that he was ordered to wear a GPS ankle monitor as part of his pre-trial release conditions and was scheduled to plead guilty Wednesday, but he didn't show up. So if you see him, call 911.
The father of a Lincoln County toddler who disappeared and was found dead is now being charged with child neglect. 2-year-old Dane Paulson went missing from his home in Siletz back in March, sparking a massive 10-day search. His body was later found in the Siletz River. At the time, investigators said there was no foul play, but new court documents say that Dane's father, Aaron Paulson, left him unattended long enough to put his safety at risk. Aaron's set to make his first court appearance next week.
Police are now looking for a person who was in the area of the Mill Park neighborhood in southeast Portland Sunday morning, shortly before a fire sparked at the home of Portland City Councilor Candace Avalos. So police released this video right here that they say the person is not a suspect, but they still want to speak with them about what they may have heard or seen. Authorities do not believe Avalos was targeted. All right, now to an update on a story that we first brought to you as breaking news yesterday morning on Sunrise. One person is dead after a house fire in southeast Portland. Around 3:45 yesterday morning, crews arrived to find a single-story home on southeast 124th Avenue near Powell Boulevard on fire. About 10 minutes later, firefighters found a person inside the home. They were carried out of the home and pronounced dead. Portland Fire Rescue says the home had floor-to-ceiling clutter, making it difficult to reach parts of the house. They say the victim was the only person who lived there. An investigation is now underway to determine the cause of the fire.
If you live in Portland's Alameda neighborhood, the state wants you to keep an eye out for coyotes after one grabbed a 9-year-old by the foot while they were just playing outside. The child did manage to escape, but then the coyote chased after them. The child's father scared off the coyote by yelling at it. The child was taken to the hospital with minor injuries. The Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife is reminding you to watch young children when they play outside.
Well, we are just a day away from SNAP benefits being cut off for tens of millions of Americans.
Now more than 24 states are suing the federal government to release that funding. KGW's Thomas Schultz has the latest from state leaders.
Oregon Governor Tina Kotek says it's unacceptable that families are being leveraged in this political standoff while the federal government is shut down. Yesterday, she allocated $5 million to be directed to Oregon's food banks in an emergency declaration. That declaration will last for 60 days going through the holiday season. The money will come from the State Department of Human Services, which will send it from a Temporary Assistance for Needy Families fund. The governor is also calling on Oregonians to help out neighbors who are struggling. Some businesses are already heeding the call. Heretic Coffee in southeast Portland is giving out meals to those in need. They've raised almost $200,000 to help many who are struggling.
Earlier this week, we had this 10, 11-year-old kid come in by himself and asked if he could get the snack breakfast a couple of days early. And that made us angry, I think, in the right way. And it also just broke our hearts.
And in Washington, Governor Bob Ferguson is doing something similar. He's allocating $2 million a week to Washington food banks. He says that'll continue until SNAP benefits are restored. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
Yeah, and more on what Thomas was talking about right there. Local food banks and restaurants in Washington are also doing their part to help close the SNAP gap. In Tacoma, Eloise Cooking Pot Food Bank hosted a free emergency food drive yesterday. Event organizers estimate that they helped more than 450 people. And in Seattle, Toasted Bagel and Coffee is now offering free breakfasts. No proof needed, no questions asked. And donations have been pouring in. In less than a day, the coffee shop raised more than $24,000, enough to cover at least 4,000 breakfasts.
700 healthcare workers at OHSU have voted to authorize a strike. That includes physician associates, nurse practitioners, and certified nurse midwives. They say their big worries are an unsustainable workload and uncompetitive wages. Before a strike can happen, though, workers must give OHSU a 10-day notice. Do you remember this video that went viral years ago? A little girl celebrating a Mariners win with some cotton candy and a level of energy I cannot muster anymore. Well, next on Sunrise, we're hearing from her nearly a decade later, and yes, she's still a Mariners fan despite it all.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and we hope you've been joining us for The Story each weeknight at 6:30. If you've got a story idea of your own, email us at thestory@kgw.com or call and leave us a voicemail, 503-226-5090. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
Hey, you know how we do it. Our team is always testing tons of products. We get rid of the rejects, only show you the best ones, and that's why I want to show you this thing today. It's the Tire Hero Portable Tire Inflator. Let me shut this off for a second. Literally true story, 2 weeks ago, I got stuck on the side of the road, glass in the tire. I barely made it to the gas station. Almost cost me hundreds of dollars to tow. So you need one of these anyway. The reason I think this is one of the best on the market is for this reason. Come on, again, let me show you. So let's say you don't know the PSI of your car, you don't know what it's supposed to be, or if you want to inflate a ball, it does it for you. So you see the little car icon right there? You can flip through these. Okay, I want to do my car. No, I want to do my motorcycle, little motorcycle icon. I want to do my bicycle tire, or I want to do a soccer ball or an exercise ball. I just blew these up. The other cool thing about this is this. Come on and look at this. It's got the USB adapters here. It acts as a portable battery charger, so you can charge your tablet, you can charge your phone. It also comes with all these different nozzles for kind of anything you would have. It's small enough to literally, I mean, it's a pretty packed glove compartment, right? Look at that. It still fits. Nice and easy. Got a great deal for you on this today. And by the way, you want one of these anyway. You want this anyway because you can save $60 a year for properly inflated tires. So why wouldn't you? Get this one though, because I think it's the best on the market. $69.99 normally. Got a deal for you today. 20% off down to $55.99. Scan the QR code on the screen right now or go to shoptvdeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
We are now just 99 days out from the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan and Cortina, Italy. And this morning, we're shining a spotlight on a Vancouver woman making the trip to the Olympics, but not as an athlete. Lauren Rich will be the only American making sure the curling ice is in perfect condition. Lauren is a research engineer who got inspired watching the 2018 games and signed up for a Learn to Curl class. And now she's a certified ice maker. That's the thing you can be certified in. She's working to create the perfect frozen surface to help the 40-pound curling stones glide across it. She does that by creating an ice sheet sprinkled with tiny uniform bumps called pebbles.
One thing that we're always watching is how the snow is building up on the blade. If it's even all the way across, that means we have a really good pebble. That means our pad is flat and that our blade is flat. All of these things need to be flat and even throughout the course of the event. But you need that pebble to be even, otherwise you can get waves in the ice and then the pebble will break down over the course of a game, so then we'll scrape that all off and start all over. Yes.
Rich volunteered for national events for USA Curling, and one day the phone rang with an offer to go to the Olympics. By the way, KGW, your full ticket to the Winter Games with exclusive coverage leading up to the games and nonstop action from Milan and Cortina starting Friday, February 6th. Can't wait.
All right, to the baseball Diamond we go. Game 5 of the World Series got off to a hot start last night in Los Angeles. The Toronto Blue Jays hit back-to-back home runs in the first inning, and they never looked back. Toronto came out on top with a 6-1 win over the Dodgers, taking a 3-2 lead in the World Series. So that means Toronto has to win just one more game to get their first World Series title in 32 years. Game 6 tomorrow night in Toronto.
And while the Mariners' season is over now, thanks to those Toronto Blue Jays, I'll get over it. There were plenty of moments this season that had fans feeling like this. You might remember this video of Cotton Candy Girl that went viral for celebrating a Mariners win over the Rangers nearly a decade ago.
So that's a gift now, and that's what I text my husband when he asks if I want to get coffee and go to Target. Yes, I do. Savannah Welch with our sister station Seattle caught up with her and her family to find out what this Mariners season has meant to them.
It was the kind of moment that captured the pure joy of Mariners baseball. One fan, some cotton candy, and one viral video.
I can't remember much, except for that I fell asleep in the back of the car.
She may have dozed off after the game, but her dance moves before the sugar crash are still one of the most recognized fan moments in baseball history.
Usually when I've been friends with somebody for a while, then eventually I get to the point where I bring it up. And then they see that and they're like, oh yeah, I think I've seen that. And then they look at that and me and they're like, I see it now. That's what happened.
Now, Beatrix Hart, also known as Cotton Candy Girl, lives with her parents in New Jersey.
To me, it's just very warm and fuzzy. I mean,
Yeah,
I laugh when I think about it because we were all, you were just cracking us up, making those faces and just being so excited, covered in cotton candy.
Her energy and that iconic cotton candy moment still stand for what fans say makes this team so special. Hope, joy, and a little bit of magic.
Seeing the way things were then when we were on a great night with a big win, and that was at a grand slam moment, which was great against Texas. Seeing now, records get broken by, that hadn't been broken since Griffey, that haven't been broken since Ichiro, things that I saw as a kid being broken and changed now are amazing to me. It's a great run.
After catching up with her, let's catch up with Rod Hill standing by on the KGW weather deck. Rod, we don't have windows down here in the studio. What's it look like up there?
Hey, it's a little chilly. You know, I almost grabbed the bigger coat this morning. I grabbed the vest. I'm an idiot. But the winds are light, and we can definitely see the passing mid to high level clouds, which we're going to have throughout the day today for kind of a partly sunny filtered Sunday. Up here on the weather deck, brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. The satellite picture shows the cloudiness that's passing overhead, and these clouds, that first batch, will work their way across all of our state. That second batch of clouds, that's the rain coming in tomorrow. More on that in just a second. Blue skies up over Timberline right now. It's been about the same temperature up at 6,000 feet as we've had here in the valley. 41 degrees is the number. And another sky camera for you looking at Mount Hood from the Vancouver, the Springs at the waterfront. There you see the pretty early morning colors bouncing off of that mid cloud deck that's increasing in our skies. 36 degrees in Vancouver. Battleground's been 33, so there may be a few frosty spots around this morning. 37 up in Kelso. It's 50 in Astoria, Newport, with cloudiness now inland there. And we still have temperatures in the 20s out in Baker City and Burns, where you folks will see eventually the increase of mid to high level clouds over your skies. Well, Futurecast shows that. Again, no moisture today, just kind of a filtered Sunday. Second batch of clouds will come in first thing tomorrow morning. Here we are at noon tomorrow, and there's a touch of rain already potentially happening up in Astoria. This is 6 p.m. It'd look like that this rain band would be holding just off to the west, northwest of the valley, and that we could see maybe some light rain or light showers ahead of that. But the weather model runs this morning say, well, forget that. The actual rain band itself will be moving in the early evening hours. So now it looks like rain is absolutely likely for the trick-or-treat hours. And that rain band may not really get out of here until some point Saturday afternoon. So that's going to be a pretty good hit of soaking rainfall, at least a half of an inch of rain in Portland. This shows actually maybe we could get an inch, and 1 to 2 inches of rain expected over at the coast. All right, so that's the update on what is looking increasingly to be a wet, rainy Halloween evening. All right, partly sunny today with the passing high clouds. We have an east wind, so if you don't get the east wind where you live, if you're blocked by it, you'll have light winds. If you typically get the east wind, you'll feel the breezes picking up. There's some gusts to 35 out along the Columbia River today. Troutdale's already seen a wind bounce into 30. And here's the 7-day forecast. We could hit 60 today. And then tomorrow, 58 the clouds, the rain late day into the evening, the rainy weather all the way into Saturday afternoon. Sunday looks like there's a scattered shower threat, but a pretty quiet, nice day overall. And now it is birthday time. Hey, we start with a 1-year-old. Mohammed is 1 today. Happy birthday to you. Family's got to be super excited. There's Lucas, who's 6, and Malala. He's on top. Is that at the Oregon Zoo, I want to say? I think so. Happy birthday to you. And then also celebrating today is Will, who is a football player out in Sherwood, 8 years old today. Happy birthday. And also celebrating on this Thursday's Gabe, 18. That's a big one. Hope you really have a fun day today. 18th birthday. And Zach and Tiger is 34. Nice picture out there in front of the big wheel. Happy birthday to you. Carlos is 59. Oregon Ducks fan, looks like. Happy birthday. Hope you have a great day. And that, I believe, is our list. Yep, birthdays at KGW.com. We'll celebrate with you from the weather deck. Let's go back indoors.
All right, your time now is 8:50, and the KGW Great Toy Drive starts next week. So that means this week is your last chance to sign up as a collection site. If you're a local business or organization, maybe you're hosting a holiday rager or a work party.
Wow.
All of you can help. Just go to kgw.com/toy to sign up, and when you do, we'll send you the official Great Toy Drive collection kit. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news, live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Let's take a look at your top stories this morning. The father of a Lincoln County toddler who disappeared and was found dead is now being charged with child neglect. Back in March, 2-year-old Dane Paulson went missing from his home in Siletz, sparking a massive 10-day search. His body was later found in the Siletz River. At the time, investigators said there was no foul play, but now new court documents say that Dane's father, Aaron Paulson, left him unattended long enough to put his safety at risk. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek is declaring a 60-day food security emergency as the government shutdown is halting SNAP benefits for some 750,000 Oregonians. Governor Kotek is also allocating $5 million to the state's food bank network. She says the state's emergency response will keep food flowing to families through the holidays. Today, ODOT will be performing what it calls rolling slowdowns as crews work on the roads out there. Until 2 p.m. today, you can expect slowdowns and lane closures on sections of I-5, I-405, I-84, and I-205. Crews there will be cleaning up graffiti. Meanwhile, on Highway 217 in Beaverton, crews will be performing emergency pothole repairs.
You know, today's the only day on the 7-day with 0 rain chance. Some filtered sun with passing high clouds, 60. It looks like the rain is coming in now for the evening hours. Steady rain for your trick-or-treaters tomorrow. and then a pretty wet Saturday before Sunday just sees a passing shower. Hey, a reminder, this is kind of like a GoFundMe. Now, I don't get rich from this, but it's your way to
But you
support
do make
me.
money, right? You do make money.
Well, you support me because my boss likes to see big numbers of people viewing the Winter Outlook. It's on all of our platforms. We've got a long version, about 15 minutes it runs. So support your local weatherman. Check out Rod Hill's Winter Outlook.
It should be called Rod Hill's legendary Winter Outlook.
That's the type of support we're looking
Yeah,
for.
I'll do your graphics next year. All right, one last thing before we go. Scary things. We're at the Holiday House on 3rd and Ridgefield earlier this morning to check out their amazing Halloween display. Just take a look at that.
Wow.
Complete with whatever that is.
Scary clown.
And that thing.
Oh, the eyes move. I don't like that.
Move.
I don't like that.
It also had like a hand-built farmhouse and like customized props, which is really cool. So if you want to check out the house for yourself, we do have the address. We do have it listed on your screen.
It's on 3rd Street.
No, we don't.
It's on 3rd Street.
Okay.
It's in downtown Ridgefield.
That's okay. Just look at our
I don't
screen.
want to know where it is.
Look
I'm
at our
gonna try
screen.
to avoid it.
Watch KGW to see it. But I think we have that on KGW.com. We apologize for not having that address for you on there, but just look at that. Just look at that all day. They do have it. They started at 6 o'clock and it goes until midnight. They also have like a Christmas thing that they, yeah. But
It's much nicer.
just follow them on social media at the Holiday House on 3rd, and you'll find everything from there because we don't have it right now at
You'll find it.
8:55.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
So if you want to avoid it as well, we don't know where to tell you to avoid it. So just be careful out there.
We're really helpful.
Well, a
Sorry,
reminder.
I'm new. I don't know. That's my excuse.
You can watch this anytime you want, right here on KGW Plus. It's 8:55, but you can start on this at 7 o'clock. We know you wanna.